last commentary for the day. I seem to be just like running these things off, but having a really good time doing it. Let me kill this. That's my keyboard tracks that I'm doing. Anyway, here's what I want to suggest to you guys. Now, there aren't that many of them anymore, but they still have them. It used to be a lot different. You know, we're going back about 10 years. I want to pay tribute to the late great Lou Garvey, who, by the way, was the drum manager at Sam Ash in Huntington, which now unfortunately is closing. But he was the drum manager there for quite a few years. And I got a chance, I had the pleasure to meet Lou. And when I met him, I knew that I really was going to have a great relationship with him, though we weren't really ever friends, but we spoke a lot over the phone. And he always used to encourage me. And he also used to heckle me sometimes, too. I'll tell you about that later. But Lou, well, actually, Lou caught one of my television shows on public access. He goes, I caught your show the other night. And he goes, there was no sound. For some reason, the people of public access had some kind of a technical issue. There was no sound on anything for that night. So you saw the picture, but, So imagine, watching a guy play the drums and there's no sound, Use your imagination. But Lou said, he was a real wise ass, He goes to me, in a funny way, he goes, there was no sound. He said, it was the best show I ever saw. You do. That was really good. And the other thing Lou used to tease me with is this. I had a sponsorship with Ludwig for about a year or 2 years, me and Danny Britt. We did some clinics for Ludwig. Now, they paid us. It was really, really cool. Unfortunately, their educational budget dried up, and they really couldn't hire us anymore. But we did a couple of clinics together. Danny did one, and then I did one with Danny. That's on YouTube, by the way. But anyway, I was playing on the Blue Vista lights, and I couldn't find a 14-inch floor tom to add to the regular drums for my public access show, so I had a Premier, which was that's what I used. And if you guys look at my films on my public access, there's that Premier floor tom there. Now, if you guys don't know anything about drums, you probably wouldn't know that it was a Premier. But Lou knew, because he knew everything about every drum. He was an expert on hardware. And he goes to me, he used to heckle me, he used to go, you're playing on Ludwig, you're endorsed by Ludwig. That's a Premier floor tom-tom you have on that film, You shouldn't have that. But, what it was is Ludwig wouldn't send me a 14-inch drum. I don't know if they didn't have one or they didn't want to send it to me. But in any event, he used to heckle me about that. But Lou used to have these drum clinics. He would set them up. There were some great guys. Don Famularo did clinics for Lou. Frank Bellucci, John Fabicchia, Johnny Macalusa, Jules Rodino did a clinic for Lou at that store. I did. Danny Britt did. I did my own clinic. No, actually, I think it was me and Danny together. I don't think I ever did my own clinic. And then Lou Garvey invented the Drum Summit. He put that together. Don Famularo, the late great, he hosted it. So he came in and kind of talked, and a lot of guys came to that. That was kind of the idea of Lou, but Don Famularo backed him up. And Don was sponsored by his company to represent the Drum Summit. And my Drum Summit solo, which is on YouTube, that was part of one of those presentations. There were a lot of drummers up there. I can't remember them all. But here's what I wanted to recommend to everybody out there. If there's ever any kind of drum event or drum clinic, go to it. The last one I went to was Chet DeBow. He had that tribute to the veterans. And it was a rudimental symposium. It was really fantastic. There were some really, really great rudimentalists there. Frank Bellucci opened up the show. No, actually, Chet DeBow opened up the show by doing all his rudimental acrobatics on a water bottle. Whoa, he was cooking. And Frank Bellucci came out and did his solo. It's all on YouTube. I wasn't asked to participate in that because I'm not really a rudimental specialist. So I don't think that I would really fit into that thing. But it was really, really cool. And so, but the reason why I'm recommending you young guys, if there's any drum clinics anywhere, sometimes a Long Arm Drum Center holds a couple of things. So try to go to those. But even a Long Arm Drum Center, they don't have the big clinics that they used to have. They had clinics. The Long Arm Drum Center hosted Billy Cobham, Louis Bellson, Dom Famularo, the late great. I remember Sam Ash had Simon Phillips, Billy Cobham, a lot of great things. What I'm saying, I always went to those drum clinics because if you go to these drum clinics, first off, you're going to meet every drummer on Long Island. And, you get a chance to talk to people, network with people, talk to the great instructors. You never know who you're going to want to study with. Talk to other drummers. And it's all drummers, and musicians too. And you can learn so much from going to those events. So if anybody is holding one, which there isn't any now, unfortunately, try to go to that. You might have to go out of state because none of the drum companies seem to be holding clinics anymore. They also had this thing called the Drum Off, which wasn't really a clinic. It was a competition. It was the Guitar Center had. It was very cool. I'll never forget it, I was hanging out minding my own business one day at the Guitar Center. I was working on the Rolands. It was just before I bought my Roland kit. So I was playing on the one that I was going to buy, decide on which model I wanted to go with. It was one or the other. And I'm sitting there and I'm practicing. And I knew there was going to be the Drum Off. The Drum Off was a competition where all the young drummers did a 2 or 3 minute solo. And there was a judging team. And each judge kind of gave a grade. One guy won. I don't know if it was cash or, I don't really remember. But I'll never forget, I'm minding my own business, practicing. And Jerry, who was the manager at the time, really good drummer, by the way, Jerry. If you're out there, Jerry, I hope, hello, man, you're really good drummer. Comes over to me and goes, listen, our judge got sick. So would you like to judge? Sure. And it was a really big honor for me because I had never really been a judge before. I've been in front of a lot of judges, but I never was the judge. So it was really cool because I had to write creativity, technique, personality, I don't know what other thing. And there was one guy next to me that helped me with it because I was having trouble figuring it out. You guys know me, I'm not mechanically inclined when it comes to small print. But I did that, and it was really cool. I met a lot of people there. I remember Mitch was there, my cousin Jay was there, my girlfriend Rory at the time. Took some pictures. It was really, really cool. And Miss Laurie. But anyway, find them if you can find them. And I'm hoping that maybe, I was trying to get to Ryan and over at Sam Ash to talk to the management over at Sam Ash to have some drum clinics, to have some guys in. But I don't know what it is. Some of the companies really don't want to host those things. And, well, hopefully you're right. More of them will happen again. But it was definitely a thing, of 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It was amazing. There was a drum clinic every other month. I remember when the Long Arm Drum Center had something going on every 3 months. It was amazing. By the way, Jerry and Dennis Ricci, those were the two guys, that got people in. Last thing, this is really cool. Steve Gadd gave a clinic, and the Long Arm Drum Center hosted it. It was all the way out on Long Island. I think it was the Massapequa. Was it Massapequa? I don't remember where it was. It was a big high school. The auditorium was filled. That's how many people came to see Mr. Gadd. And it was amazing. But I want to finish with this. And it's why, everybody should go to a drum clinic. because you meet other people and people can give you advice. They can tell you their experiences. Steve Gadd said something, and I want to quote him in tribute to him. He said, right, that if you're hanging out, right, with another drummer, I'm going to stop this thing. It's a torture chamber. If you're hanging out with another drummer and he hears you play something and you want to try to figure it out, but you don't know what it is, and you ask him, well, if somebody asks you, if somebody asks me about what I did, well, if somebody asks you how to do something and you can't figure it out, help them out. Show them how to do it. Or if somebody asks you how to set up a piece of equipment or wants advice on, help them out, because we're all in this together. And that's what Steve Gadd said. I think he got like a standing ovation. It was really, really cool. That was really, really cool. At that clinic, right, they had a question and answer period, and this is funny. Some guy comes up, right, I guess he didn't do his homework, and he asked Gadd, what was your philosophy, right, behind your drum part on this record? I forget what record it was. Gadd goes away. I didn't play on that record. What an idiot. Anyway, no, I didn't say that, but I just thought, right, if you're going to ask a question, right, do your homework, you know. By the way, I don't know who that guy was, right, but everybody was kind of laughing a little bit because Gadd really didn't play on the record, you know. Another thing, too, and a lot of questions Gadd was asked, he said, I don't remember, you know, because, you know, Gadd made so many great records, he probably doesn't remember what he did around on each of the parts. He's a very, very recorded drummer, and he made a lot of records. That's it for me tonight. See you at the party. I'll see you at the party, Richter!